Hello, welcome to Long Shot Larry's Sports Astrology. We're looking at the semi-final in the Australian Open between Khachanov and Tsitsipas. Due to start today, the scheduled time is 2:30. I'm using 2:45 because they seem to be starting about 15 minutes late. So Tsitsipas is the favourite. He's going to be represented by Taurus and Venus in the Frawley method, and also Aquarius and Saturn. Khachanov is the underdog. He's going to be represented by Scorpio and its ruler Mars, and Leo and the Sun. So under the Frawley method, you can see Saturn is very dominant up here, conjunct the 10th house, Lord of the 10th. That's one for the favourite Tsitsipas. The only aspect the Moon's going to make here is it's going to sextile Saturn in 6 degrees, which is really pushing it. You don't like going past 5. Maybe if it goes to 5 sets, that will be another indication for Tsitsipas. If the game does start at 2:46, for example, Pluto will be opposing the part of fortune, which is one for the underdog. Looking at the Antiska positions, you can see that the Moon will square the Antiska of Mars in just over 1.5 degrees, which rules Khachanov, so that's one for him. So overall this favours Tsitsipas. So it's going to be important here at this time. Saturn is very dominant here. Relations to Saturn are going to be important for the winner of this match. And Uranus is only just risen. If the game starts slightly earlier, Uranus is right on the ascendant. So those relations to those two planets are going to be important. So here's the chart for Khachanov. You can see here that Uranus is separating from his Mars 1 degree, flying to a trine to his Jupiter, also about just over 1 degree. So it is triggering his Mars trine Jupiter, which is nice. Now I would point out his chart is nearly identical to Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills quarterback who just lost last weekend when Uranus was stationary, so it didn't work out well for him. Potentially sextile his Moon, but we don't know where his Moon is. This is a solar chart. Looking at his progressions, this gets really interesting because Saturn is applying 1 degree to a trine to his progress Sun. Now that's pretty handy. His Sun is sextile Saturn natally, so that should be very positive for him. So the question is that enough to get Khachanov the win? Tsitsipas, the Moon starts in a good position. It's at 19 Aries, trine his Leo Sun, about 0.5 degree away, which is about 1 hour's playing time, so he should start quite well. Can't see much relation to Uranus here. Saturn is quincunx Mars, but it is separating about 40 minutes. Saturn can hang around, but that's a difficult aspect. He might get up early and Khachanov gets a few sets back from him. Also, this part of fortune is potentially conjunct his Venus with Pluto opposing, which is not helpful. If we look at the progressions for Tsitsipas, Uranus is just past a trine to his progress Sun. It's separating 2 degrees, which is probably just a little bit too far. If that was closer, that would be very positive. The other chart I'm going to look at is a potential chart for Greece. I don't know which is the correct chart for Greece to use. I've just looked this one up. The Greek Revolution from the Turks from 25th of March. What I found really interesting here is Jupiter at the moment is 5 degrees area, and this chart for Greece has the Sun, Mercury and Jupiter all in a stellium at 5 degrees. So I think that's generally positive for the Greek nation if this is the correct chart to use, but that's just speculative at this point in time. So in summary here, Tsitsipas should have a good first hour with that Moon trining his Sun. The Frawley method points to Tsitsipas. Saturn and Uranus, which are very strong, are pointing to Khachanov in my opinion. So I think Khachanov's a pretty good chance to get this one. Would be a big upset. Would be a huge upset, but we'll see how this one plays out. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.